Are you ready for a Bears bombshell? This Sunday, the team faces off against the New England Patriots in a game that could mean more than just a win. But there's a big problem. The team will be without both starting tackles. With the players' knees in trouble, the offensive line is in a critical spot. Who's going to step up and take the reins in place of these giants? Stick with us to find out how this adjustment might change the course of the season. Meanwhile, the Bears' defense is in turmoil. One key player is down, and another is ready to step into his shoes. Can the rookie on the defensive line be the piece that saves Chicago? With the support of his teammates, Zack Pickins will have the chance to shine as a starter. But will it be enough? Experts aren't so sure, and in Chicago, the pressure is higher than ever. Don't go anywhere without finding out if this is the spark that ignites the defense. And to top it all off, let's talk about the offense, which is on the ropes. The numbers say it all. Is it time for a major change? With struggles in the first and third quarters, there's one question hanging in the air. Is the offensive coordinator really to blame for this crisis? The Bears are at a crossroads. What decisions will the GM make? The answer could be a game changer. If you're a true Bears fan, this is the moment to subscribe and not miss anything coming your way. Click, like, and stick with us till the end. This Sunday, when the Bears face the New England Patriots at Soldier Field, our two starting tackles won't be on the field. Yup, you heard that right. Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones are out for the game due to injuries. And folks, this is a much bigger problem than it seems. Now, let me ask you this. How the hell are we going to take on the Patriots without our starting tackles? This puts the whole game at risk. Darnell Wright and Braxton Jones are practicing, and the offensive line is looking like a sieve with so many holes. How are we supposed to give Justin Fields any time to throw the ball with such an exposed line? I think this could be one of the toughest tests for Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles. If that wasn't enough, the backup plan seems to be Larry Borom and maybe Jay Curran filling in at tackle. Is this really the best we've got? This is when I gotta ask, why not bring in someone with more experience? Because if you don't, you're risking even more pressure on the quarterback, and we all know how that ends. With Borom and Curran on the field, the chances of a complete disaster skyrocket. Now, if Ryan Bates plays, they could move Matt Pryor to tackle, but even that doesn't sound like a reliable solution. And if you think that's all, think again. Kieran Amagagi is also out with a calf injury, and Jaquan Brisker won't play due to a concussion. This means we'll have to rely on our second-string guys in key positions. When you don't have your starters on both the defense and the offensive line, that could spell disaster for any team. But wait! Here's a silver lining. Montez Sweat, Kyler Gordon, Tevin Jenkins, and Terrell Smith have had full practices, which means they're ready to go. That's good news. But honestly, will it be enough to cover all the gaps left by these injuries? I'm not so sure. So, what's going on with the Bears offense? Let me tell you, it's time for Ryan Poles to do something different. This offensive line situation is unsustainable. We need answers, we need solutions, and we need the best players on the field. But if this keeps up, can we even compete with a team like the Patriots? This doesn't look good, guys. Now, I want to know, what do you think about all this? Do you think the Bears offense can overcome the absence of our starting tackles? And what are your thoughts on Ryan Poles' decisions with the substitutions and offensive line strategy? Drop your comments below. I'm reading them all, so don't be shy. I know many of you are thinking, how are we going to move forward after Andrew Billings' injury? Well, let me tell you this. The future might be closer than we think, and Zack Pickins is here to prove it. Yes, the news is tough to swallow. Billings, a player who was shining on the defensive line, is out with an injury. What a disaster! This guy was putting up solid numbers with 1 sack, 2 tackles for loss, and 3 QB hits. It might not seem like much on paper, but through Pro Football Focus, Billings was ranked as the 48th best interior defensive lineman. That counts for something. But now, with him out, who's going to step up? Now, let me ask you, isn't this the perfect moment for Zack Pickins to show what he's made of? This guy was a 3rd-round pick in the 2023 draft. Sure, he's got some work to do, but the talent is there. And let me tell you, he's got the chance to shine right away. What do we know about Zack Pickins? A lot. This guy has the size and ability to be a real disruptor on the defensive line. Even the experts are saying it. He has a unique knack for attacking the field and wrecking the opposing offense. And let's not forget that versatility. He can play both tackle and one-gapping. He's versatile, and while he's got a lot to learn, the coaches are ready to give him the chance to grow. But here's the big question. Is Pickens the guy who's going to fill the void left by Billings? This is his time to become a star. Expectations aren't through the roof, but they're clear. It won't be perfect right away. I'm not expecting miracles, but I do want him to make the most of every opportunity. What do I expect from him? To make big-time plays. To collapse the pocket, battle blockers with strength, and stop those runners like there's no tomorrow. Let's be real, Pickens has the entire locker room behind him. Is this the kind of support we need to give our defense a boost? I think so. Because if there's one thing we've seen, it's that the team is still fighting, and this guy is ready to be a key piece moving forward. This is his moment to stop being just a promise and start delivering. But here's the big question. Is Pickens the long-term answer for our defense? We all know there's talent on this team, but injuries and the loss of key players leave a lot of uncertainty. How big is the opportunity for Pickens? Will he step up and earn the trust of his teammates and coaches? Now, I want to hear from you, the true Bears fans. What do you think? Do you think Zack Pickens will fill Billings' shoes, or do we need to wait longer to see the true potential of this player? What is going on with the Chicago Bears offense? It's time to set the record straight. From the start of this season, we've witnessed a repeating pattern, an offense that starts slow and finishes with a comeback. Is this just a bad streak, or is there something deeper that's broken? Today, I bring you an exclusive analysis that might change the way we see this situation. Is the problem Caleb Williams, or is the overall strategy just not working? Let me tell you something, not everything can be blamed on one player, especially not a rookie. Why don't we talk about the offensive coordinator? Don't get me wrong, the offensive line has its share of blame, but the truth is the Bears have been struggling for weeks to find a formula to score early in games. These issues in the first and third quarters aren't a coincidence. I ask you, is it time for Eberflus to change the strategy and give the offense a new direction? Now, Caleb Williams isn't perfect. Despite some flashes of brilliance, his performance in the early quarters is concerning. Why can't the offense click in the first part of the game? Williams' passer rating in the first quarter is only 81.6, and that's nothing to write home about. But what catches my attention is that after that rough start, Williams performs much better in the later quarters. In the fourth quarter, his rating rises to a solid 90.5. Now, don't come at me with that catch-up game excuse because it hasn't always been that way, and the situation can't just be reduced to playing catch-up. What really worries me is the offense's inability to find rhythm from the get-go. What is going wrong in the game plans? If the Bears' offense can't execute properly at the start of the game, and even less so after halftime, there's only one person to point the finger at, the offensive coordinator. It's time for something different. Let's not forget that Eberflus wanted a coordinator who could make adjustments in real time, but it seems like the Bears still can't find a winning formula. Here's the thing. Coordinator Waldron has a history of struggles when it comes to figuring out how to get out of the locker room effectively. The lack of significant adjustments in the first and third quarters is alarming. So, isn't it time for Eberflus to consider a change in the play-calling department? Thomas Brown, the passing coordinator, has previous experience as an offensive coordinator. Why not give him a chance to shake things up? We cannot continue to witness more mediocrity in this offense. The solution is not to wait for the final part of the game to give us a show. We need an offense that gets moving from the start. It's time to make tough decisions. And I tell you this, if no changes are made now, the Bears could remain stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. So, now I ask you, do you think the problem lies in the play calling and that a change in strategy is needed for the Bears? Or do you believe Caleb Williams still has what it takes to take this team to the next level? Now that we've covered all these shocking updates about the Chicago Bears, I want to hear what you think. Do you believe the Bears' offense can overcome the absence of our starting tackles? How do you see the future without them, and what adjustments should our players make to keep fighting for the season? And now, what's your take on Zack Pickins? Do you think he'll step up and fill Billings' shoes right away, or will it take a bit more time for us to see his full potential? This is a crucial question for the future of our defense, and your opinions really matter. Finally, do you think the real problem lies in the play calling and that we need a strategy change? Or do you think Caleb Williams still has what it takes to take this team to the next level? The Bears are at a crossroads, and your answers could be the key to what we need to improve. If you're not yet part of this amazing Chicago Bears news fans family, don't wait any longer. Subscribe right now and join our community, because here we discuss everything about our team, and we always support each other. Click that subscribe button and activate the bell to stay up to date with all the Bears updates. And remember, always with strength and passion, we stay united.